Welcome to Bristol, Tennessee for the 2001 Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. As 43 of Stock Car's greatest will tackle the shortest track on the 2001 Showdown series schedule. And as we glide around the track, you get to see just how short this track really is. With a double pit road lane, some stalls sit on the front stretch and some stalls sit on the back stretch. Going to make for interesting pit stops today, and drivers better not forget what side they pit on. Bobby Labonte is making strong strides for Joe Gibbs Racing through the 2001 season. The defending Showdown champion sitting here on the pole, and he looks to go on and win the race. He says this is the fastest car he's had all year, and that means like Pontiac can get its second win within 2 races. The story of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s season is qualifying higher than he finishes. That 8 team has qualified inside the top 5 for a majority of these races in the season, but finishing there is a completely other story. Jeff Gordon has had some amazing runs over the season. The only problem? He's coming after a huge points deficit earned at Daytona from the crash. Jeff Gordon now, alongside Tony Stewart, have to make up a lot of ground in the season if they want to be title contenders by the end of it. Dale Earnhardt has been praising the team that he owns and everything that they have been doing this season. 2 wins in the first 3 races, along with his own son's qualifying efforts this season, has really made Dale Earnhardt Incorporated a strong team in the garage and a team to be fair in future seasons. A tough crash for Jason Leffler last week left him unable to finish the race on only the second lap of the event. He lost a lot of points in the Rookie of the Year standing and now sits behind Adam Petty in the points. He's going to have a strong season if he wants to come back and earn that Rookie of the Year. Darrell Waltrip went from using a provisional to make last week's race to running 13th fastest overall in this race in qualifying. That team seems to be getting better, and it's only a matter of time till they put that car on the front row or in victory lane in this 2001 Victory Tour. After a string of horrible qualifying sessions locking this 35 team out of the first 3 races, Todd Bodine finally manages to qualify into a race. Let's see if he can take this speed that they have in the car today and make their way through the front and get their first win in their first ever start. Ever since Adam Petty burst onto the scene in Daytona earlier this year, he has not put out that fire. He has been working and working hard to get that Rookie of the Year. 3 races down into the season, and that 31 team just can't seem to get back in the points. They were down early in the year, and they just don't seem to be able to come back from it. They keep losing points every race, and so far have been stagnant since last week. They're looking for a good run today to finally start going in the right direction. After the success of TriStar Motorsports last week, they have decided to field a second full-time entry, the number 67 Lowe's Pontiac. Rusty Wall is having a horrible season here in the number 2 Penske Racing Ford. He's looking to turn it around, but not going to be this week. The Wright Racing team has attempted their second race of the season here at Bristol. They plan to attempt 5 races total this season, depending on their performance, maybe more. Jeremy Mayfield qualifies shotgun on the field today. Penske Racing in general has not had a good season so far in 2001, but they look to advance and hopefully qualify better next week. And that wraps up our Nesquik notable drivers, so let's go down trackside to get the command of fire engines. Drivers, start your engines! And as the drivers roll off, let's look at your starting lineup. On the pole for today's race, Bobby Labonte, the 2000 Showdown champion. And to his outside, Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 2000 Rookie of the Year. Going back a row, Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart. Jeff Gordon, the 1993 Rookie of the Year, and Tony Stewart, the 1999 Rookie of the Year. Going back another row, row 3, the Intimidator himself, Dale Earnhardt, and Dale Jarrett to his outside, a row of Dales. Back in row 4, Bobby Hamilton and Jason Leffler, a 2001 Rookie of the Year contender. Back in row 5, the Burton brothers, Ward and Jeff Burton. Back in row 6, Casey Atwood and Terry Labonte. Back in row 7, Darrell Waltrip with his best qualifying effort this season to his outside Matt Kenseth. In row 8, a pair of Robert Yates Racing Fords, Ricky Rudd and Samantha Rodriguez. In row 9, Todd Bodine and Jerry Nadeau. Back in row 10, Mark Martin and Adam Petty. In row 11, Amelia and Bill Elliott. Back in row 12, Sterling Marlin and Johnny Benson Jr. Row 13, Mike Skinner and Steve Park, the 2001 Las Vegas winner. Back in row 14, Tiffany Rose and Kenny Wallace. Row 15 has David Green and Kurt Busch. Row 16 has 2001 Daytona 500 winner Michael Waltrip and Elliott Sadler. Row 17 has John Andretti and making his first Showdown start, Lewix. Row 18 has Christian Fittipaldi and Stacy Compton. Back in row 19 has Tony Roper, first in the Truck Series standings, also making his first start in the Showdown Cup Series, and is outside Ron Hornaday Jr. Back another row in row 20, Rusty Wallace and Buckshot Jones, again making his first start. Back in row 21, Isabella Wright and Stella Mendez. And rounding out the field in row 22, Jeremy Mayfield with a horrible qualifying effort. And off of turn 4, Bobby Labonte and Dale Earnhardt Jr. are going to lead him down. And Bobby Labonte is going to lead him down to the line. Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the outside. And Labonte's immediately going to try to get away with it as here comes Earnhardt up to third, passing Gordon. And Gordon's going to fall way back there. As Labonte having the strong car early on here in the race, as a lot of cars go 3 wide. Not really a good move here at Bristol, but with limited track space, drivers have got to try something. As early on here, a lot of cars having mechanical failures going to the garage, and that's going to open up a lot of room on the racetrack for teams to be able to try new lines. Another car in the garage now. Labonte continuing his lead here. Joe Gibbs Racing dominance early on, and just as I say that, a lead change. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the crowd is on their feet. Dale Earnhardt Jr., new leader at Bristol. And it doesn't look like anyone has anything for Jr. here. As in the back, a few more cars trying to make moves. And there goes the 18. He dives it in and just didn't have enough. Slid right up the racetrack and had to get off the gas to not hit the wall. Earnhardt Jr. going to continue to keep the lead here, dominating performance late in the race. A beautiful execution, and here he goes. It's not going to be enough. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to win at Bristol. And the crowd going absolutely wild. This is going to be a popular one. And let's take a look at the point standings 4 races into this 2001 Showdown season. Fan favorite Dale Earnhardt Jr., after the win here at Bristol today, takes over the points lead from teammate Steve Park, as Steve Park falls down to second. Dale Earnhardt claims third, and he's kept that for the past 2 weeks in the point standings. Michael Waltrip still clings on to fourth in the point standings. Bobby Labonte is back in fifth. Below him is Bobby Hamilton, another Pontiac for the Morgan McClure team. Behind them is Bill Elliott in his own Ford. Adam Petty, a Rookie of the Year contender, is back there. Jason Leffler after him. Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Kenny Wallace, Mark Martin, Amelia with only 3 starts, Ricky Rudd, Dale Jarrett, David Green, Johnny Benson, Jeff Burton, and rounding out the top 20 in points, Ward Burton in the Bill Davis Dodge. And that's going to do it here from Bristol Motor Speedway. A popular win here today, Dale Earnhardt Jr. We ask that you tune into next week for Richmond, where we continue the short track stretch in the road to claim the 2001 Showdown champion. Until next time.